Hello, it's a heavy reaction. This time we are going in with the finale, the final era for Evita. What an epic era. This has felt like it has gone on forever in the best possible way. There has just been so much content. Obviously, if you want to check it out, you can. It's all on the channel. Uncuts are on Patreon, all that jazz. If you've been following, you know that Ryan has been taking us on the journey. If you're brand new, you can go back or you can just skip around. You can just do whatever the hell you want. We're going with the finale of Evita. Now, this is a very big finale. This has so much content in terms of like time length. Ryan has said we're jumping all over, so it's not in perfect chronological order, which really doesn't matter. So sometimes she's going to be pregnant, sometimes she's going to be post-pregnancy. I don't really care about that. I just care about connecting with her and seeing what the hell she's got to say in terms of interviews and things like that. All right, just so you know what the hell is coming. We've got an interview with Bobby Wygant. We've got the making of Evita. We've got Madonna wins We've got Madonna wins the Golden Globes Awards for Best Actress. So keen for that. We've got a Rosie O'Donnell interview. We've got an NBC Today interview. We've got an Oprah interview. We've got a speech to Elizabeth Taylor. And then we've got her princess speech, her Princess Diana speech. So much content. Get a drink. You know me. Get some food, get whatever you need to do to have some fun, and hopefully you're here for the long ride. Now, there has been confessions, music, people are banging on about those eras, but I think people have forgotten we've still got to get through Ray of Light. Yes, I've reacted to that album, however, I'm pretty sure we're going to go back to it in terms of me like just really listening to it now in chronological order. Obviously I haven't listened to it a lot either, so it's going to be nice to revisit it. And then we've got all that entails in the Ray of Light era. Your favorite era will come. It just takes a bit of time. You got to remember, I'm trying to get through these as quickly as we can, but it is a lot of content. And to make sure I'm getting the full, you know, Madonna journey, Ryan is really curating it. So just have some patience. It will come. I'll see you in a year or so, and you know, we'll be rocking out to music, I'm sure. All right, enough chit chat. Let's get straight into it. The first one we're going in with, this is an interview with Bobby Wygant. It's from 1996, so very keen to see. As we know, we love to hear Madonna talk. Let's go.
Anyway, as I was
saying,
it's a chick. Madonna, I've been looking forward to speaking with you, and after I saw the film, I was just bowled over. So congratulations to you.
Thanks.
If you could have talked with Eva Perón, what might you have asked her?
I would have asked her if she
pretty.
accomplished all the things she wanted to accomplish. She was proud of herself.
Were those the questions as you worked on it that kept coming to mind? Or?
Well, I had so many questions. I mean, I interviewed so many people that had known her. I wanted to know what kind of music she listened to and what her favorite movies were, and I wanted to know what her favorite food was, and I wanted to know if she was happy.
Yeah, or to like build that real
so
character. What is it, like where they live as the character?
Now that you have this enormous success that I'm sure is coming, how is this going to structure your career from here on?
Well, I'm hoping that it will afford me more opportunities as an actress. Vocal training that I did to sing the soundtrack is only going to help me in my own songwriting. So I can only benefit.
Which I'm pretty sure I did.
I haven't toured for a really long time, and I have to say I miss it. Yeah.
So,
side note, I know, like, annoying to pause, I know everyone's just told me about this 1.6 million crowd that she's just performed to, so it's so hilarious. You know, like, I haven't performed in a while. What is this, like nearly 30 years later, she just broke a record, I think, for being someone over 60 who made the most money, like 200 mil on a tour, and then, yeah, performing to like 1.6 million people, which is just absolutely incomprehensible. So I love the parallels with real life and, you know, the past, and watching them in real time, watching these but real time happening at the same time, if that makes sense.
I see that sometime in the future I will.
New Madonna, if I may say that, and the mother Madonna, do you think that that's going to lessen the so-called outrageous things that you've done in the past?
It really didn't.
It's definitely changed my priorities. And now that I have a child to take care of, I'm sure that my rebelliousness is definitely going to take a back seat.
She's had a kid.
I can't see myself knitting stockings and stuff. I do think my life is going to change a great deal. It has already. A lot of my rebelliousness came from a real sense of being unsettled and questioning my own upbringing, feeling a sense of not being fulfilled. And I feel quite the opposite of that right now.
Madonna,
it's a good way to put it, like acting out and being
pregnant, you didn't know for 12 weeks.
Real extravagant.
Almost 11 weeks, actually.
Oh, wow.
But when you found out you were pregnant, well, it was untimely, let's say, for the picture, maybe for you, I don't know. But did anyone suggest to you that you terminate the pregnancy?
What the?
No. Never.
That's a wild question.
Not once did I hear that from anyone.
Supposing someone had said, think about that, or would you, or this is...
I would say absolutely not. This is a gift.
Yeah,
and
she's wanted this for so
it's
long.
mine, and
I don't think anyone would say that to
it's
her.
not going anywhere.
Good for you. Good for you. Yes, totally your decision.
Absolutely.
Without pressure from
Thank you.
anyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Interview is a bit
Well,
weird.
thank you so much for your time today.
That's it.
You're welcome.
And I can only hope that come March we see you up there. You know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say it
Yeah.
because
They're
it
going,
freaks
guys.
people out.
Yeah, don't jinx me.
No, I won't. It is certainly deserving
Oh,
of
thank you.
recognition and awards.
Ah, that's
Thanks.
sweet.
Thanks, Madonna.
Sure.
Oh, shook her head. The rest of that interview is just from her point of view, which we obviously don't need to see. We just want to focus on Madonna. Love that lipstick on her stunner Rama. Very odd line of question, and I suppose maybe she doesn't know her past, but I guess if you've been following her, you just know how much she has wanted a kid and how much she values that, so I don't think anyone around her would say that. I suppose the only people that maybe would be like studio execs, things like that, because obviously, you know, it can really interrupt with what they might have planned with her, and I guess her momentum, things like that. Wild question. That would just never be asked now. It's so hilarious, you know, seeing the past and what they ask people. All right, we're going in with the making of Evita. It's a big one. It's a long one. Let's get ready. Let's go. It's still so wild how they make, especially in the olden days, like movies just took so long to make. They just don't really spend this much time on it anymore.
Well, I was very passionate about playing the role because she
Oh, her eyes. I didn't even realize how brown they were in that
confusing,
movie.
infuriating, incredible woman.
Girl who comes from nowhere, meets the most famous man in that country, and then becomes one of the most powerful and famous people in South America and indeed the world, and then died tragically young. Actually, is a story that Hollywood might have written themselves.
I was gonna say, they love it.
I was standing where she once stood, and there was an electricity in the air, and it was one of those magical moments.
Oh yeah, because they did get to use the actual balcony. Yeah, wow.
When I looked down at the thousands of extras, I felt like a lot of them were looking up at me and sort of thinking I was her, so it just turned it into this kind of surreal moment.
So wild, because especially with that many extras, just as an actress, it would just be so surreal being in that environment. Like she says, like the energy you'd feel from everyone. Of course, you're gonna see the studio work. Very, very cool. Again, like how much footage they have of this movie, let alone the making of. And even for the director, like having to be across all this as well. Full on.
It's Tim Rice's idea. He was very intrigued by the fact that...
Oh wow, I've never seen
she
him
was
before.
mentioned as
Obviously very well known. But he's such a good singer.
So it isn't all 1 2 1 2 1 2 3.
Yeah.
So we do actually get some some things across.
The recording, of course, is going to be a lot better than the original was by definition because things have come along and we've also got a bit more time and money than we had back then.
That's cool for him. I like that.
Because even if he's different characters, he's going to be a waiter, if she's in a restaurant, he's going to be a reporter. I think we have to forget that it's Che Guevara.
That's what?
And I was living in a little pension, you know, very, very low class pension in Madrid. But it was wall to wall with the theater where they were performing Evita. So every night I couldn't sleep
that's
at all.
cute.
Because even the wall, I remember in the more noisy numbers, the whole wall was moving. I couldn't sleep at all.
Evita
Full
is
circle
the
little
soul food
moments.
piece. Will make it as if I was making a straightforward dramatic film, like I was making Midnight Express on Mississippi Burning. Just happens that people are going to be singing the dialogue, and hopefully that will be as realistic and naturalistic as possible.
Cool take. Definitely got the right director for it.
Not very nice to come from the airport and see these huge signs everywhere saying "Go home, Madonna."
Oh,
or
that's what.
"Go home, Alan Parker and your film crew," which is very worrying. But it proved to be like a very small group of people.
As
Some
it always
small group,
is.
Evita lives, Madonna go home, or Evita lives, Alan Parker go home. The press blew it out of proportion. They made it seem like we arrived and there were just like riots and people throwing hand grenades at us, and that we...
Well, we had a big press conference, just really a lot of the sort of fears.
That's right,
really
she
were
had to,
about
yeah, do that
rather than
press.
the actual film that we're going to make. In the end,
Yeah,
we're making
lol. Isn't that the wildest thing you've
Eventually, we
ever
did turn
seen
lot of
for a
people around.
movie?
A, very serious about what we're doing, and B,
Like,
we
this
were
is
going
just
to
an
make a really
actress for a
respectable
movie,
film,
and
fair
what
film.
she had to go through to get. It's just insane. Very cool to see how movies are made, though. Cute, holding hands.
I would say the turning point when I'm getting ready, once I have my contacts in.
Yeah,
As
they
they're
are bloody
brown, then
piercing.
You see everything in a different way. When I have my teeth in, because she had slightly buck teeth.
To be fair, I never really noticed the teeth being different.
I went down to Buenos Aires 3 weeks before we started shooting, and I had made friends with an Argentine journalist in London while I was recording the soundtrack. And I went down there and I sort of interviewed everybody, and that was really
See, so
exciting.
full on, so
It
much
was-
effort
Oh my
she's
God,
put into
yeah. I
it.
became sort of obsessed with her and sort of figuring out, because everybody I talked to was either completely against her or completely for her. I think we had some things in common.
So
She was
insane how
incredibly
much goes
courageous to have
in.
done the things that she'd done to come from where she came from.
It's basically like you watching the movie again. Yeah, you forget how many different roles he plays in the movie. Oh, that's cute. It still gets ya.
Working with Madonna, it has been
Literally makes you want to
really
watch
good.
the
I mean,
movie.
we had a very good time recording the soundtrack in the studio. But the problems are to do with fans who wake me up in the middle of the night when they're screaming, "Madonna, Madonna, come to the window." And unfortunately, it's my window they're screaming. I mean, he's a much fatter, bigger man. It's a 2-hour makeup.
Oh, whoa.
Building up the
I thought this
nose.
was just some random dude.
And he had a head full of shining black hair. And it is odd.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, very pleased to meet you. Look, I'd like you to meet you and you say hello to her. Very good.
Yeah, it's just mind blowing. Like, this is what you see, but like all that chaos behind.
Our heroines of the upper class aren't supporting us.
It's actually such a cool movie.
I think I have actually more than 82.
See, like, you definitely get into it, you're like, oh, I just want to keep watching.
Beginning, but we added some costume changes as we went along, and then Alan said, "Oh no, I want you to wear something different here." And so I think it's probably about up to 90 at this point.
Insane.
I think in reality she was a kind of Imelda Marcos of her time. She absolutely loved clothes and hats because she never seemed to wear anything twice. I mean, it's almost a kind of Princess Diana thing.
And we get Madonna speaking of Princess Diana, which is very cool. But of course, coming from such a poor upbringing, you would want so much materialism.
So she looks, you know, absolutely fabulous in it.
There again, I've more to do than simply get
Yeah, perfect role. Even like all this fashion and just getting to look so
was
different all the
such
time.
a wonderful project. I've enjoyed recreating all the hairstyles because she just had so many hairstyles Eva put on.
She did
So
it
cool,
different
like, for
ways.
all these
When she
people
had
as
her
well.
hair-
So we started with that, and then she progressed, and as she became more sophisticated, she just
Yeah, in terms of everyone else that's involved, obviously this is Madonna's, you know, like dream job and things like that, but I guess you always forget that there's so many other people that have their dream jobs too, so I love seeing this side of it, you know, even with the hairstyles, the costume, like all these people who have such passion for it, and knowing that this movie obviously has so much involved in terms of, you know, those two things. It's really cute to see, you know, their perspective and what they're loving about it, and it all coming together. And, you know, I guess that's why it is such a great movie, because you have these people who are so passionate. Yeah, really cute, very nice. I like seeing this side of it. While it's not all Madonna focused, you can see the passion in her, in other people, which is really nice to watch as well. Like, whenever you see someone passionate about something, it's inspiring. You're just like, yes, I want to go and do something that I'm passionate about, and, like, you know, emulate them.
Beginning of the verse, and then gradually go up and up and up and up and up and up and up, and then just see the gigantic amount. When we've had all the difficulties that we had to start with, you know, it was my fault. I'm the one who wanted to be here because, you know, the spiritual heart of this film is in Buenos Aires, in Argentina.
And I think we have to act as most real as possible. I'm gonna try to forget that I'm singing and try just to communicate things with the other person that I have in front of me.
See, just the passion involved in it.
David Lynch says we're lost of the travelling circuses, and indeed that's what we are, you know, just trucks and personnel and equipment needed for a modern big film.
They really are gonna be at the end of the movie and in our production like another main character. You can see that immediately.
Put you amongst them, me in the water.
Me in the water.
Yeah, just for, it'll be just 1 month. Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with my choreography.
Well, started out as a choreographed number.
See, even the choreograph, you would not even think about that.
You know, film's organic. As a director, you have to go where the magic is.
The only one thing is that I would like to have the playback a little bit before. Ana Duarte probably was the first person who took conscious of the suffering of the people, the poor people, what she was calling the descamisados, which means basically people without shirt. And
I actually love this. I know I try not to pause things too many times, but it just is so endearing. It just makes you want to be there. It makes you want to be a part of it. I love, like, it makes you want to go and watch the movie as well, but it also just makes you want to see so much more of what's been going on and just see these people in terms of like the realness or the real people that they are and that they're portraying. And like I said, the passion, I think that's going to be my little key word for this whole entire era. Just the passion that is involved with this movie and everything that it's entailed is just, it's so inspiring. Seeing how that was made and then just this, it's just, it makes you love it even more knowing that, you know, he just was just so passionate about getting it right.
June of last year that I first asked President Menem if we could film on the balcony at Casa Rosada, and he said no way. He's been telling me no way for the last 9 months. And then out of the blue he said yes, no one knows why. So we've had 2 days to put all this together. But it's worth it.
Extra.
I was told that Michelle Pfeiffer really wanted the role and that she was seriously being considered for it. So I decided to make this sort of impassioned plea to Alan, and I wrote him a very long letter, and we had several meetings, and even after the several meetings I didn't know if I had the part.
So insane.
But eventually I did, and I think that took about 7 years.
Gives you chills.
That
Just
much easier, but we're in the middle of the 5th biggest city in the whole world, so you try and think, when you look around, it's actually quite surreal. It's like being in Trafalgar Square and owning the whole of Trafalgar Square to make a movie. But
Jonathan? He's pretty much...
And when you're trying to recreate an entire film around one woman, and really the image is one woman in this spot, just there, looking down at that, is for a filmmaker whose job is about illusion, and suddenly it's not an illusion, it's a reality.
see, like, everyone is just so adorable.
I dreaded having to sing this song in the studio, and I dreaded having to film the scene on the balcony because it's the scene
biggest
everybody
one.
knows, the famous balcony scene. An enormous amount of expectation.
I think she's exceeded the expectations. So epic. Yeah, she can sell the performance. You would not think that she's lip syncing to this.
Don't keep your distance to say to you.
I love that scene so much. It's in the music video.
And this architecture is very similar to Buenos Aires in the 30s and 40s.
I've brought many projects back to Hungary, but of course this production has been the biggest one I've ever been involved with as far as Hungary is concerned. The reason
See,
why
I
came
love
to Hungary
it.
was-
How are we going to fake the cold tonight? Andy, you're the
Warm.
producer, you have
Warm.
to tell me this.
Well, you're supposed to act very warm.
Yeah, I'm supposed to
Act warm.
Who are you anyway? I forget.
Cipriano Reyes.
Oh, right. A new Argentina,
Madonna, I'm shocked that she does not know these lines. I wonder how they got rid of the, like, coldness, I guess, like, post-production.
I think my favorite song is the new song, You Must Love Me. It's beautiful, it's simple, and I haven't heard it a million times.
I'm concealing things that I'm frightened you'll slip.
So sad.
Love me.
Ava and Juan used each other, or they just, you know, it was a relationship of convenience or for power, whatever. I do believe that they loved each other.
I guess for that, like, even both things can be true. They can still love each other and used each other for, you know, their own benefit.
Get them all in their groups. Just the army. Hold up on the name.
Yeah, it's just absolutely incredible what goes into these movies. Like, this is just insane.
You know, you've got to get some humanity in it. I think that's a bullshit shot. We had lots of documentary footage of the actual funeral, and as a film director, you greedily want to recreate the whole thing, but to replicate it exactly would be, you know, quite frankly, impossible. I mean, I can't have 2 million people out here, but there's 4,000 extras there, and goodness knows what else, so it should be pretty impressive.
Jesus.
And I think Alan and I now have developed a little bit of an understanding about where we both come from, because he's seen me work now with the orchestra, and he knows that I'm a perfectionist, and
Love.
he's a perfectionist.
Very cool.
We're a bit of a marriage.
Most of what I've done is a lot of walking, a lot of waving, a lot of shaking hands, hugging, kissing. This is early days for me in Budapest. Bulk of what I've got left to do are the intimate scenes between Evita and Perón, and the political machinations and his rise to power. Virtually, I've still got everything left to do, everything left to play for, as they say at home. So I'm going to get back to bury the wife now. And, see you later. Bye.
It's funny.
You know, looking at the sky and saying, "Oh my God, this is fantastic." You know, the director too. I shouldn't say that, but Alan was pretty happy yesterday because it's a challenge.
Gotcha. It is very, very impressive.
The dialogue, on the other hand, it's not an opera because it's done in a very naturalistic way. So if it succeeds, we will have succeeded in creating a whole new art form.
Only the audience will tell me whether we've done that or not, you know. We hope we have.
So cute. Very, very, very cool. Like I said, it makes you want to watch the movie again, give you such a bigger appreciation for it. You feel so much more connected to every single person that spoke to us, you know, even from the producers, the music, the bloody director, the hair, the costume. You see their passion, you just are so much more excited for them all, knowing how well it did and just how, or what they pulled off. Like I said, movies in general, when you see the behind the scenes, it's just, there's so much that goes on. It's just so insane that then we can just watch such a professional final piece and you just have no idea, because you forget, and obviously that's the whole point. You don't want to be sitting there thinking about all those things, and I suppose the director doesn't want you to. They want you just to really accept what you see. That was awesome. I love seeing their passion. I love seeing everyone involved in the making of it. Just very, very nice. Like I said, this era is just huge, but it just makes absolute sense considering how big this movie was, how much went into it. So I love how much content there is, and I'm sure there's even more. What an awesome way to be wrapping up this era, but also just to be seeing it all, and not just all from Madonna. Like I said, I actually liked a lot of the parts that she wasn't even involved in, that just seeing everyone else's, I guess, passion. Like I said a million times. All right, we've seen the movie, we've seen her interview about it, we've seen the making of it. Now it is time to see her win Golden Globe for Best Actress in Evita. I'm very keen. I'm getting chills. I'm getting watery-eyed already. Yeah, I'm very keen to see her win this.
Welcome to the 54th Annual Golden Globe Awards. Won her the Golden Globe last year. Please welcome Nicole Kidman.
Oh, wow. I like that. Their person the year before presents it to this year's.
Glenn Close, 101 Dalmatians.
Oh, I love that movie.
Madonna.
You can just tell how nervous she would be. I love that they're like eating. I don't think you ever see that now.
And Barbara Streisand, The Mirror Has Two Faces.
Oh, they didn't even show her.
The winner is
Let's go.
Madonna.
It's so insane.
I have been
so incredibly blessed this past year, and I have much to be thankful for. Making this movie was an incredible adventure for me, both artistically and spiritually, and I learned so much, and I will never forget it, the experience. And I must thank, first and foremost, Alan Parker for believing in me, for giving me this opportunity, and for making such an exquisite film. I would also like to thank Antonio Banderas and Jonathan Price and Jimmy Nail and the rest of the cast and crew for being so supportive and for raising the level of my game. Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice for writing such beautiful music and inspiring us all. Thank you.
Literally so selfless. Thanked everyone.
You hit a note tonight. How are you?
Oh my God, I'm holding my baby. My little baby.
I asked you again.
Don't embarrass
I
me.
said, what did you want to do? I want to rule the world. What now?
Oh my God, I can't believe I'll never live that down.
They're playing it
You
over
made
and
me
over.
say it. I hope to keep going as an artist, make more music, make more movies, and have more children.
Madonna, thank you so very much. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You have much to do in there. Please run. Thank you.
So cute. So, like, just, again, everything's been leading up to this moment. I mean, I really expected her to talk more, I guess, about herself, but I guess that just really shows the type of artist she is, just thanking every single person that had such a major role in her success as well, which is just so beautiful to hear. While I'm like, oh, I really wanted, like, more just, I don't know, I guess some inspirational quote or just something from her. This is, you know, just really, I guess, shows it in itself. Be so thankful to the people who helped you, who supported you, who got you to where you are. You don't have to give yourself flowers, you know, I would guess the award is that in itself. So it's, yeah, not what I expected at all, which I love because I kind of thought it would be, you know, a bit more like, real like, but I guess it was its own thing, which is what exactly she does. She keeps you on your toes. I guess she's just really respectful for the people who helped her get to where she is, which I love seeing. All right, the show must go on. We are now going in with the interview on The Rod Show, 1997, so definitely well and truly after Evita has been released, and I'm going to presume after she's won this award. Let's go. Oh, the Rosie O'Donnell Rod, lol.
In the world. Her performance in the new film Evita is nothing short of brilliant.
Oh, keen to see how these interact.
Madonna.
Hopefully it's a bit more like, oh, bringing the bloody baby. Look how proud she is.
That is a beautiful baby.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Adorable, huh?
She sure is, Mo.
Yeah?
That is not your baby.
I know.
Oh, what the hell?
Why do you have this baby?
Well, because I read in the newspaper that I was going to come on your show with my baby, and I didn't want to disappoint people.
Oh, well, that is so nice. I think people want to see you mothering. You know, that's probably why they want to see.
You think?
Yeah.
Should I show them?
Yeah, go ahead. Do a little. Look.
Okay. This is how I do it. I go, who's a baby pumpkin?
Is that a baby?
Just a baby chicken. Hello. Hello.
Look. Cute. Show everyone this cute baby that's not yours. Yeah, there's the cute baby.
What the hell?
Do you think we're scarring? We're scarring
Yes.
her for life?
I don't think we are actually, because our parents aren't in showbiz. You see?
See? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Here's the mom. Come get your daughter.
Uh.
More staff members. It's a boy.
Sorry.
It's a boy. Oh, come get your son. Come get your son.
Oh my God.
See, that's nice of you not to disappoint all of America like that.
I aim to please.
You sure do. They've been hounding you, trying to get her photo, huh?
Yeah,
Why
I'm
do-
in show business, not my daughter.
Exactly. Give me a high five on that, sister friend.
Yeah.
There you go.
Sister friend.
How's she doing? I know she's doing great.
She's great. She's I've enrolled her in a computer course.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Get a leg up on kindergarten.
Absolutely. You know, we chat. You know, she's very opinionated. I ask her for advice. She's already making more sense than most people in Hollywood.
Oh.
She's very beautiful. And I think my son's got a little crush on her.
Oh, yeah, well, speaking of your son, I just wanted to thank you for that little present your son left for me in my swimming pool.
Don't go there!
We're all in the swimming pool, right? And my nephew, he's 5 years old, he's swimming around, and he says to my sister, his mother, he says, Mom, look, there's some chocolate in the swimming pool.
It's true, you know, he's a baby, he makes mistakes.
And I stayed out of the swimming pool the rest of the week.
You did, I'm sorry about that.
In between cocktails, you know, I think it's good to reflect.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
Think about the past, think about the future.
A bunch of dead guys saying old stuff of dead guys. It didn't go over well.
It would have worked if you would have stopped saying, I do not like green eggs and ham.
I know. I did. Is Lourdes into partying yet?
Actually, she's
Lourdes.
not.
She's just graduated to Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had to drop 10 grand for that thing. And the doll starts laughing. She starts shrieking in terror.
She's a little older, 6 months. They're into the Tickle Me Elmo.
I am instantly suspicious of anything that laughs that much.
I don't blame you.
She is too.
I know that you love to sing to her. By the meadow in the itty bitty pool swam 3 little fishies and a mama fishy too. Swim, said the mama fishy, swim if you can. Boop, boop, didn't matter water. Choo! Boop, boop, didn't matter water. Choo!
See, like, he just did not get these types of interactions.
And they swam all over the dam.
Thank you very much.
Wait. Don't you know the second verse?
There's a second verse?
Yeah, you don't know the second verse?
I don't know the second verse.
Well, see, you're not a very good mother.
I'm sorry. What's the second verse? Tell me.
Well, the second verse goes like this. Swim, said the mama fishy, don't... You got to do hand gestures.
I'll make them up. Go ahead.
Swim, said the mama fishy, don't you get lost. But those 3 little fishies didn't want to be boss. 3 little fishies going out on a spree. And they swam right out to the sea. Oh, no, Rosie, you're a great mom.
No, you're a great mom.
No, you're a great mom.
No, you're the best.
Listen, you taught me everything I know about mother. You're a great mom.
You are a great mom.
No, you're a great mom.
No, take it. You are.
Okay, I'm a great mom.
All right. What about me? Am I chopped liver?
Okay, you're a great mom.
All right, thank you very much. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about your movies. Maybe sing a little something for the people.
So ridiculous. So cool.
I'm really so proud of you.
Oh, thanks,
You're
Rob.
really brilliant in this film, Mo. You deserve all the nominations that you're getting. And it really moved me to watch the movie.
It's a long way from third base with Penny Marshall.
That's true. It sure is. Remember that? I taught you how to catch the ball in your hat.
I don't know. It started out as a 4-page letter, and I think it turned into a 10-page letter listing the reasons why I was the only person that could.
The only reason.
Yeah, I whipped out the heavy-duty knee pads.
Yeah.
And I got on my knees and I begged him.
Oh my God.
She's his mother. She begged him. Oh my God! They laughed. They went there. You see? No, she begged is what she did. This is a G
that was
rating.
not in my mind.
See? You dirty people out there. Shame.
My daughter's watching this.
That's right.
3 months.
My son. They're probably making out back there.
No.
Well, he kisses her all the time.
You know, I could sue you for sexual harassment.
I know. Nowadays, you could.
Scary.
Oh my God.
3-year-old kisses somebody, there's a lawsuit.
Scary.
Welcome to America. Hello, Odessa.
Like all men, he finally gave in.
And you found out you were pregnant while you were over there.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell me. I was so mad. Remember? She
I'm
came
sorry.
to my house the day. She came home for 3 days, comes to my house, sitting in my couch, talking to me about, asking me all these questions like, oh yeah, what kind of Pampers do you use? I'm like,
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, what's your nursery monitor? What kind of Fisher Price? So I'm thinking, I go, why? You have any news? No. I was just curious.
Well, I couldn't tell you because if I told you and somehow it leaked, I would have had to blame you.
Right.
And I don't want to do that.
Well, good.
Because you're my friend.
I know, but next time you should tell me because I was scared. I walked out of my apartment. There's news crews going, what do you think about Madonna? I'm thinking, what happened? What?
She died of starvation in Budapest.
Something, you know? And then,
Do you think that Jerry Springer hates you?
I don't think they hate me. Enough with that. Gee. Sing a little something from Evita that we changed the words.
That we changed the words.
Check.
Testing,
1, 2.
1, 2.
Check. These on. Check. Here we go.
Rosie!
I like their friendship.
Get me up, get me down. I don't sleep on around. What would you do? Goodbye, blonde ambition. This girl
Clever.
doesn't have the time to strike a pose. Throw us
Hey.
on my clothes. You will diapers and blankies ready to go. Washed with ivory snow.
Check the waitress on the way out.
Oh my God.
Shows on Sunday.
Lol.
Next.
Lauren Holly.
Yeah.
You think she hates you?
No, I don't think she hates me.
I think I'm gonna stick around and find out.
You want to stick around?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her.
All right.
Very, very, very cool. Such good chemistry. And I guess that's, you know, why you can be silly, because they know each other quite well. But it's just so awesome to see interviews like that, because you just don't really see it like that anymore. So yeah, I love that. So random, but you still, you know, she still obviously got to advertise Evita, things like that. So fun, so cool. Just, yeah, just fun. Like, my cheeks literally hurt from bloody smiling so much. So fun. All right, now apparently this one is rare according to the title. It is an NBC interviewee. This is from 1996, so we are time traveling. Let's see what this one's got for us. Let's go.
Her very vocal camp announced yesterday that the self-styled queen of erotica is pregnant. The father, they say, is Madonna.
Okay.
What? Madonna Jr. Can we be yes, but first I have to make a movie.
A what?
Is there a timetable?
Well, I think I better do it before I'm 45.
Fair. Feel any compulsion to be married to the person who's the father?
That depends on how I feel about the person at the time.
They're so invasive, these
That's not an
questions.
essential part of the equation.
What, marriage? No, not necessarily. I've been married before. It's not what it's cracked up to be. I think you can live with someone and be in love with someone and raise children and not be married and be perfectly fine.
And the woman she has longed to play for several years.
It's kind of annoying having to now listen to all these lame questions when you're on such a high, especially with Rosie. It's like, I suppose it shows what she's having to constantly deal with, regardless of, you know, what she's going through.
And she helped herself along the way.
Yes, that's okay.
Doesn't everyone?
Why not? Are
Exactly.
saints only allowed to exist if they're like Mother Teresa and they just wear rags every day and don't, you know, enjoy caviar? I mean,
I suspect if they're to be called saints, the answer would be yes.
Well, I think you can do good things for people.
Yeah.
And have high ideals and be incredibly moral and still like to buy a lot of shoes. So.
They're also anxious to see parallels between her and you.
That's okay. I'm sure there are.
She
knows. People think that being a star is about
Love that
being
look.
fabulous.
Oh my God.
And you know what? They're absolutely right.
People suggesting equally admired
because
and
I
loved.
choose
People
to- I
suggesting
choose-
seeking fame in the same ways, seeking power in the same ways, etc.
Well, that's a ludicrous notion because we have very different lives and we do very different things with our lives.
Literally.
And the irony of all of this is that the way people have reacted to me portraying Eva Perón and saying, oh, she's vulgar, look at her past, she's not fit to play such a saintly, incredible woman, is exactly what she had to endure and go through when she was in power. There were so many people against her, and they accused her of all the things they're accusing me of now.
Madonna is the subject of controversy.
Singer Madonna has been shaking up Argentina.
Critics had promised to disrupt the making of Evita,
President Carlos Menem even blasted the choice of Madonna to play the lead in Evita.
Why do you think so many Peronists are so strongly opposed, or were so strongly opposed, to your involvement after you got the part?
For no particular reason. Just, I don't think they had a real reason. No, they didn't. They do see her as a saint. Pure and without...
But she wasn't a saint.
But in the beginning it was pretty bad, wasn't it?
No, I think the media blew it way out of proportion and made it seem like it was really bad.
Has it been much different here in Budapest?
I'll say. Yes. Going to invent a whole new art form, and it's going to be just the most amazing thing, or we're all completely mad.
Do you believe in it? Are you convinced it's
Could be
going to
both.
work? Or are you
I believe
kind
in
of
it.
guessing at this point?
No, I believe in it.
How big a deal is it to your career?
I think it's a very big deal.
Biggest thing yet?
Yeah.
Make or break in film sense?
No. But it will certainly help if it does well. Yes.
And if it doesn't?
I don't think did she do many more
I just don't
huge
wanna think
movies?
about that right now. Thank you very much.
Part two of our conversation, Madonna talks about marriage and motherhood.
God, they really
and the future of
trying
her
to get those
changing music
views,
career.
spreading
We're
it
back
out
in just a moment.
over
Stephen King is next.
weeks.
The biggest news in her personal life is that a baby is on the way. I talked with Madonna in Budapest, Hungary, just before her
I wonder if
pregnancy
she's
was
gonna
announced, and asked whether
okay.
she thought marriage was an essential part of motherhood.
Oh, yeah.
You have been in some bad and failed movies. Shanghai Surprise, Who's That Girl? Your acting contributed to their failure? Assuming the converse is true, that your acting contributed to the success of the other ones that succeeded.
I think Shanghai Surprise and Body of Evidence were bad movies that I was good in, and I think Who's That Girl was a bad movie that I was bad in.
Hey, I'm a thief, I admit that, but I never killed anybody.
At this point, to you? For your acting?
The whole world.
Oh, come on. I mean, you've already got as big a bank account, as big a name as you want. I mean, what difference would it make?
Well, money doesn't make people happy.
Understood.
It would make a really big difference, because then I think that I would probably have the opportunity to do a lot more movies and do a lot of things that I'd like to do.
You need a good review?
I don't, personally. I know that I'm a good actress, but
The movie needs it.
I think other people, you know, the masses who are so easily swayed,
they
as
need
you
it
know,
to, like...
they need to read it.
Have you given up on the idea of being judged fairly or objectively?
That's a good question. No, I haven't given up. I've given up on thinking that it's going to happen overnight, but I haven't given up on it. I still have hope that people
I don't think
are
she
going
ever
to
really got that. Like, being judged
eventually.
fairly. So sad. It's such, like, you know, how society treats women.
First loves don't always last.
This is true.
What do you want me to say then?
Never
Like,
forget them.
honestly, one of the best in history.
Had more hits than any woman in history. How important is the record to you?
Well, it's nice, but it's not something I think about. Truly, I didn't even know what you just told me.
Oh, give me a break.
I swear to God, I thought like Whitney Houston was ahead of me or something.
She's closing fast, I understand.
Oh, who cares?
Literally.
This is my next question. Do you care?
No.
Whitney can pass. Doesn't matter. Who cares?
Well, they can't do what I do. What is it? What is that? All that mean, anyways? A list. Everyone's too obsessed with lists.
What happens after Evita's done?
I collapse in a heap.
Will you make a concerted attempt after it's wrapped to lay low so that it's judged on its own merit?
Oh yes, I will. So considerable. Yes.
And lay low she will. Madonna's Baby is due in October. Disney has moved the release date of Evita from November to late December. Still coming up on Today.
Wow, so it got moved as well and still did so well. A good interview, kind of annoying at times, but I guess, like I said, it still just shows no matter what she's doing, no matter how successful or, you know, what great stuff she's doing, they're going to constantly just bring in these lame questions. It's like, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? I don't know, bro. Just let me, like, live my life. Let me relish in what I've just done. The movie hasn't even come out yet, so she's not even, you know, being able to celebrate it fully. Annoying, but I guess, you know, that's just the media. I like that she calls it out, like, you know, even with the Hollywood and the media blowing out of proportion, I like the vocalness on it because it's just true. Like, I mean, we don't know how hateful these crowds were. Madonna's saying they're not. I mean, you got to take her word for it, I suppose. I don't know if I could handle the amount of questions. It's just like, shut up. It's like, this, what are you going to do? So why don't you want marriage? Why don't you want that? It's like, oh my God, who actually cares? But I know it's just the way society's been shaped and formed, and I know we've come far, but really, with women and how they're treated still now, it just doesn't feel like a lot has changed. It just feels like a lot is not said directly anymore, and it's a lot more indirect or a lot more propaganda filled for me anyway. All right, we've got another biggie. Miss Oprah. Not the biggest fan of her. I think she's a bit shady, a bit questionable at times. However, I'm keen to see what Madonna's going to say, and I guess the format of the interview, hoping it's not as directed. Hopefully it's a bit more like personal and just a bit more flowing and not as, I guess, like attacking. Let's go.
Her first TV interview since she had a baby. What will you
Oh,
teach her
she got the
about
first
marriage?
one.
When are you and Stephen gonna get married? Oh man! Madonna has never done a television interview longer than 12 minutes until today!
Yeah, wow. I suppose it makes sense with the questions she always gets asked. Like, why would you want to put yourself through that?
When Madonna changed her hair, so did practically everyone else. And when she struck a pose, everyone vogued. She's had more #1 songs than any other female artist.
So wild.
It went on to become the biggest selling music video ever. Madonna has also
Oh my God, I'm
made
playing that
over a
song
dozen
after
movies.
this.
When you hear the song, does it give you shivers too?
Don't Cry for Me?
Yes.
Probably not.
I've heard it a lot.
Yes. Yes. Or page letter.
Yes.
Telling him that this was a role you were born to play.
I think it was 10 pages.
I don't really know. I mean, I was possessed while I was writing that letter. My hands were moving across the page, and someone else was pushing it.
I heard other people were considered for the part. I heard Meryl Streep and
Michelle Pfeiffer.
We can't imagine anybody else playing Evita but Will. We can't even imagine.
Well, of course, because that's all we know it as. Kind of lame when they say that.
The day Madonna thought that she'd harmed her unborn baby because she discovered while filming Evita that she was pregnant.
It'll be interesting to see if it gets any deeper than, I guess, the surfer level stuff. I thought Oprah was a bit... I know, like, it's only just started, and we've heard all this, like, a million times at this point. I'm wondering if it is going to get super deep, or if she's just going to keep it surface level. It's hard. I don't really like Oprah, so it's, I guess, the connectability there is lacking, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, she's here for an hour, but half of this is just... footage we've seen, girl.
Madonna just says, oh, I get tired looking at it. Why?
I can't believe I did all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't believe I moved around so much.
You knew for a long time, longer than you let us know.
I'll never tell.
That you were.
I had I had a suspicion, but I was just, let's just say I was in denial.
Yeah, I thought she was never going to talk about her pregnancy.
But you wanted to be pregnant.
Absolutely.
Then you get pregnant at the same time that you have this movie that you wanted to do for 7 years.
Right.
And did you think, not now, God, could you wait until the next 9 months?
At first I was a little bit shocked, but then I thought, you know what, this is perfect, because I'm getting two things I wanted more than anything at the same time.
A comforting Indian doctor came to the set to examine me. When I could hear my baby's heartbeat, I was instantly reassured.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty wild to be pregnant while you're doing all that.
Diary, April 17th. Well, the world knows. Yep, that's just when it all had been announced. The world knows, and I feel like
Where is
my
this diary
insides
coming
have
from?
been ripped open. Some people have suggested that I've done this, gotten pregnant, for shock value. These comments only a man would make, because it's much too difficult to be pregnant and bring a child into this world to do it for provocative reasons. When you said what you said about the tabloid television shows, being outside your house, and the hard copy and that, because wasn't that in the most invasive?
That made me sick, I have to say, yeah. I mean, I accept it when I walk outside, when I go outside my gates, and I go into the world, you know, go shopping, go to premieres, whatever. I don't like it, but I accept it. But when I'm in my house and I'm being filmed, when I'm standing at the door to get the newspaper and I'm being filmed, I feel incredibly violated, because I feel like there has to be one place in the world where I have my privacy.
Now, when I read that, now I don't know if it's true, I read that the photographer had used the next door neighbor's house.
It wasn't the next door. It was 3 doors down, you know,
because I thought, wouldn't you be ticked off with your next door neighbor?
I am. I am. And that's where they filmed. It was very far away, but somehow they managed to
one
do
of
it.
those zoom lenses.
Yeah.
You relied on your sister.
One of
when
those
you were having
zoom
the baby.
lenses.
You can dream.
Yeah.
Okay, the Sharon Stone dream. What was that about? She dreamed about Sharon Stone.
And Courtney Love. It was
And
a
Courtney
dream
Love.
together.
So what was the dream? Sharon Stone invited you over, and Courtney was there,
and Sharon Stone invited me over to her house, and
this is a dream now. So let's get it straight.
She invited me over to her house, and I went to visit her, and she was dressed very glamorously, laying in a bathtub, completely made up. And I said, "Wow." Wow. Courtney Love's voice on the outside banging on the door saying, "Open up, I know you two are in there, you better." And then I opened up, and she had a gun. And,
Courtney did?
Yeah. But the door was shut, and she said, "You two better open up or I'm going to shoot you both." And then when I opened the door, she laughed and said she was just kidding.
And you had a dream about your teeth falling out.
Yes, I have a lot of dreams.
Oh, apparently the teeth one is...
I do dream about
something.
that a lot. I'm not sure what that means.
It means something.
It does.
Not good. Whatever it is, it's
No.
not good.
Yeah, it's not really like anything brand new. This is all stuff we've definitely had covered
We are, but
in
you
other
are. We'll just talk about that when we come
interviews.
back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we'll be right back. Back in a moment.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't super vibe it. I don't know if it's just because obviously we are watching a lot of content, you know, all in one sitting, or if it's just we've literally heard all this stuff. I just thought Oprah might dig a bit deeper. And I know it's her first long interview, but it's like if we've already heard this stuff and you want to make yours stand out, you know, even the Rosie O'Donnell one was, you know, more fun and that had the least amount of questions about it. So I don't know if the bias is just coming there because we have heard it and I'm like, yeah, like I just want something new, or is it, do we have to ask a million questions? Can there not be a bit more, I don't know, just a bit more oomph? It doesn't really feel deep or anything, like I said, that we haven't heard. It's not that exciting to me, to be fair. And I'm not the biggest fan of like live shows because they just clap so much. Even doesn't have to relab that all the time.
What impact do you think that will have on your mothering? You know, there's this book about motherless daughters.
Yeah, I read it.
Yeah.
It's a great book. When I look into my daughter's eyes right now, I feel that I'm being healed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because I didn't have a mother that I could grow up looking into the eyes of, I couldn't recognize myself in her. I couldn't see myself in her. So now I look into my daughter's eyes and I see that recognition, and it is so extraordinary, that feeling. It is going to heal a lot of the pain that I felt growing up without a mother. I mean, I feel very inspired, compelled, motivated, whatever, to give my daughter everything my mother couldn't give me.
So
Lucky
you
kid.
had that moment.
Aww.
I saw your daughter. She's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful brown-haired baby, wearing the prettiest little lace dress with the little pearl bracelet and everything. She's not coming out. She's not coming out.
Dolce & Gabbana.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Good on her.
I know the baby will be dressed.
Yes.
The baby will be dressed. What will you teach her about men?
Well, I think that if you learn self-respect, you don't need to be taught about men.
Fair.
It's 2 hours and they're singing. But when I said this to Madonna during a commercial break, and I'll say this to you all, when I saw her performance, and Jonathan Pryce and Antonio Banderas, but particularly your performance, I said when you see somebody who can do something with that kind of excellence, it makes you want to do better. You look at it and you say, I'm going to do better in my life. You know
Literally what I
That's
said.
What art is.
Absolutely.
Inspirational.
Absolutely.
And that is what you did in this film. If you never do another film. Yesterday was a real cry fest. I spent the entire day horizontal in a hospital bed being told that I have cancer. I kept thinking about how my mother must have felt with my father when he told her she was dying, and how she stayed so cheerful. This brought on floods of tears throughout the entire day. So is that what you're thinking about during that scene?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And not just her, but also how I would feel if someone came to me and said those very same words.
And Mother's Day is always hard for you?
Very depressing. Yeah.
What happened, though, this Mother's Day?
Oh. Well, my baby kicked me for the first time.
She's eating it up.
And you know it's a kick. You know it's not like indigestion.
No. It was a kick.
You know it's a kick.
No, it was a kick. It was like a linebacker kick. You know what I mean?
So you were feeling sad? You were depressed or thinking about your own mom?
I was. I just was. Yeah, I was feeling melancholy, and I was. We were shooting a scene.
Oh,
and
that
in the
lady
middle of the
seems
scene, I was
super
kicked.
affected.
Feel a baby kicking inside you. It's the first time you really know something's growing in you. So it was a great moment. That
It's
was
a gift.
My Mother's Day present. Yes.
It was a gift.
My first Mother's Day present. Yeah.
Even the way she speaks
What was
about
the hardest
pregnancy
part
is
about
so much
being
more
pregnant?
interesting than you
Did
hear
have
other
a lot of
people speak
morning
about.
sickness? I read about you sleeping on your stomach. I thought this was cute. You were
Kind of
sleeping on
sick.
your stomach. You always slept on your stomach.
Yeah.
And you thought that sleeping on your stomach once you were pregnant was going to smash the baby's nose. It's like right there. And so you were trying to sleep on your side.
Train myself to sleep on my back or my side, yeah.
Do they tell you that you can't sleep on your stomach?
They don't tell you, but eventually you just can't. I mean, you're kind of like, you know, if you sleep on your stomach, your arms and your legs won't touch the bone. Getting my waistline back after I... But, it, you know...
Doesn't look like it was hard at all.
It came back.
When we come back,
So
what
it's
does
like
Madonna have to say
celebrating
about,
all that shit.
who included a chapter on sex with Madonna in his recent book. But first, take a look at another brilliant old-fashioned tale of romance and included so-called details of your sex life. First of all, did you know that was coming out?
I had heard that he had done a book, but I had no idea that he was going to devote a chapter.
I interviewed him.
A fictional chapter.
Really? I interviewed him, and he said that he had tried to reach you and to tell you about that he was going to be doing that. That's not true?
No. And even if he had tried to reach me to tell me he was going to do it, what difference would that have made? I mean, it wasn't like he was asking me if it was okay. He was just going to tell me he was doing it.
So what do you want to say about that?
I don't have any respect for a man who kisses and tells. I mean...
The old guy.
And you say, first of all, it isn't true, and he wrote it, and you're saying that what he says about what happened. Actually, I read that you said that, you know, it's the lines that you would hear in a bad porn movie, so it's not something you even said. So you think, did he just make the whole thing up? You
I think someone wrote the book for him. I mean, I think someone did it with him, and I'm sure he was like, oh, you know, okay, you know, I'm sure they sort of made stuff up together, you know.
They said, tell us anything you can about Madonna. What attracted him to you in the first place? You to him. What was about him that you said, you know, I want this man? Or was there anything about him that made...
Well, he's...
No, in retrospect, you know.
Okay, I think I admired him because he was an outspoken individual, and that,
See how they're all
you know,
just basing
he
on
isn't your
looks
typical,
rather than what she actually connected with him on?
NBA basketball player, and he's different.
Cutting edge.
Cutting edge.
Cutting edge.
Yes.
Kind of out there.
Original. He has his own style.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Crazy. Yeah.
Certifiable.
Did any of your friends, because I know you have...
He's also a great athlete, and he has, you know, he's crazy, but he has a really funny sense of humor. I mean...
I know that you surround yourself, you were saying this to us earlier, you surround yourself with people who care about you.
Yeah.
So, were there people who cared about you who said, this is not a good idea?
I think there were people who thought I had a momentary lapse of sanity. Look, I only dated him for 2 months. It's not like, you know, we were living together or engaged or something. And
he said you wanted his baby.
Really?
That's what he said.
Well, he's lying.
He's lying.
Yeah.
No, have you seen him?
I only dated him for 2 months.
You know, with all that's been written and said about it, that whatever you all had...
I didn't even know this even happened.
You could never be friends, because he says he would like to apologize or...
Really?
I read that, too.
Well, he better crawl from here to China.
Oh, dear. These men, they're just, like, so sad.
You once said that Sean Penn was the love of your life. Is that still true?
Oh, my God.
When are you and Stedman going to get married?
Oh, man.
Yeah, good.
About the same time you and Carlos do.
Hey, we can have a double wedding.
That'll be good. Cool. It's not happening for you anytime soon? Yeah.
You?
Same here. Okay.
So hates that question. So then as a woman, wouldn't you want to ask questions that are like so beyond that like surface level shit?
Until you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a wedding.
Yeah.
And get rice
I think
thrown
what
at
people
you.
want is the wedding.
Get rice thrown
They
at
want
you.
the wedding. They want the doves to fly. They want... I think that.
Well, you
is
know...
that what y'all want to see, a wedding? I don't know what it is.
I think weddings are for everybody else. I think, you know...
You have led us into this discussion.
I have not.
What?
No, really, but what do you want to...
What do you want to tell us about Stedman?
Not very much today. No, really, do you want to share anything about...
No, clearly. Read the room.
He makes great turkey burgers.
Yeah. Is he good with the baby?
He's incredible.
Being a good papa?
Wonderful, yeah. Sometimes he puts her diapers on backwards. It's okay.
He's loving the whole papa thing. Is he jealous of you? Does he get angry if does your independent...
Oh my God. That's what I'm talking about. This is literally just like a dude interviewing her. I get you've got to ask some questions, but again, Oprah, you don't want to answer any of these questions about your partner. So it's like you're just really simplifying it. Does he get jealous of you? They've just had a baby together. They've been dating for a year, etc., etc. You could just make these questions so much more enjoyable. It's like, is there anything you want to share about, you know, your relationship with us? I don't know. There's just, it's all the same shit we've heard. There's a little few nuggets in here, but I'm not very impressed with Oprah in general. Like, again, this is a female asking another female about these things that she clearly wouldn't answer herself. And I know that she's the interviewer and she's come on the show, but make your show elevated. Like, actually stand for something rather than just the cliche shit that the media wants these, you know, artists to be asked. How much longer left? Because I'm kind of over it. 10 minutes, 12 minutes. All right, let's hustle through. Oprah, yeah, not the biggest fan.
Does he feel like he's living in the shadow of Madonna?
No, I mean, I think he knew what he was getting into when he rang my doorbell.
So he handles the whole thing. It doesn't bother him at all?
He does very well with it.
Does very well with it. When we come back, we're going to talk about...
What did she want to say? Like, no, he's a terrible bloody father.
No, we're going to talk about Antonio Banderas. We'll be talking about that.
I'd actually be pretty embarrassed to, like, be asking these questions knowing that Madonna is like, what?
Did you still have a little teeny tiny crush on him?
Little teeny tiny?
Yeah.
The thing is that when I was talking about him in Truth or Dare, I hadn't met him yet. Then I met him, and I had this big crush on
When you
him.
mentioned him in Truth or Dare, nobody knew who he was, really, at the time. Yeah.
And I got to know his wife. I respected the fact that he was married. And when we got to working on the movie again, finally, it was so far beyond that. I still think he's handsome and talented and all of those things, but I don't have a crush on him anymore. I think you really have to like your co-stars. It helps. You don't have to, okay, but it helps. I think probably the biggest misunderstanding people have of me is what people have of most celebrities, and that is that we aren't human beings, and that it's okay to say the things that people say because we won't feel them because we don't have feelings. You know, I think that sort of covers everything. Think of me as a human being and did think of me as a person who had feelings. I don't think people would say or assume a lot of the things that they do.
Their sex lives, because she did that whole sex book.
Okay, well, first of all, what he said was untrue. Fine. But second of all, my sex book was a collection of fantasies.
And on her
It had nothing to
terms.
do with anybody else. It was me. It was my fantasies. I didn't involve anyone else.
The assumption
that it's
that
true
then
or
you
that
don't
it's
care,
okay.
that you wouldn't care about somebody betraying you.
Well, they're
about you.
wrong.
Yes, and they're wrong. Does negative press still hurt your feelings?
Yes.
It does. Interesting. I thought it was interesting because
I like that she owns
you
that.
were talking about how the paparazzi, when they're doing the tabloid things, and this is true, when they're doing a negative story, do you all notice this? When there's a bad story about you, they find the ugliest picture. But I found interesting because you say they do that just to torture you. And when I read that, I thought, they're not doing it to torture you. It has nothing to do with you. That's what my friend, poet Maya Angelou said to me.
I know, but it feels like it.
It's torturing you.
Yeah.
Really?
It is. Well, who wants to see a horrible picture of
but
themselves in every supermarket?
I know, but the picture is there not because the person who puts the picture there doesn't say, I'm going to put this picture here and I know this is really going to tick Madonna off. It's going to try. It's about selling. It's about whatever is going to sell the newspapers.
I know.
You know that.
I know.
But it still bothers you.
Yeah.
And do you find this is what happens to me.
I think it would bother anyone.
In the paper, there's a big thing that said, Oprah hates Rosie. And I was really disturbed by that. Really disturbed by it.
That's
And
why
I thought,
she says
well, do
about
I now
that.
call Rosie and let her
People
know
hating
that's,
her.
and I don't hate Rosie. I really love Rosie. I watched Tom Cruise on Rosie myself the other day. Were there lots of friends at the house?
Yeah, there was. Mostly there was her son. Everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
He's at that age.
Yes.
See, like, this is so much more insightful into her life, which is just more natural.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you have lots of girlfriends? Are you a good girlfriend?
Yeah, I am.
Really?
I don't have lots of them. I have a handful of really good girlfriends.
They're the first people you told about the pregnancy?
No.
Your dad was?
No. No. Well, the first person I told was Carlos.
Madonna is trying to talk me.
I wonder if Oprah
into
has
having
kids.
a
I have no
baby.
idea about
Tell
her,
her,
obviously.
I don't have the time. When did you start to feel it? Like, when did
There's a lot of baby
eyes
talk,
on
which
her?
makes
Yeah.
sense, but I'm very keen to move
And you weren't one of those women
away
who thought, let me do this all naturally.
from pregnancy and baby talk.
And then I said, give me the drugs. It just happens. You'll get that patience. It will just come. What?
Okay.
Well, I mean, listen, I couldn't have predicted either that I would have had the patient. So I named her after a village of miracles.
And every time you look into her eyes, you feel healed.
That's right.
That's what's happening. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. Evita opens on Christmas Day in Los Angeles and New York, and then nationwide on January 10th. The complete soundtrack from Evita is in stores now, and there's a new book by the director Alan Parker called The Making of Evita. I suggest you
they bloody went all
experience it.
in.
It's not just like going to the movies. Not like, let's just go to the movies. It is an experience.
Literally.
Thank you.
Let a break just to come back for that. Some cool bits in there. Like I said, overall, not my favorite interview by her. Oprah's a bit annoying in terms of, asking the same questions that, we would ridicule if a man was asking those questions. Also, just, I guess, very similar stuff to what we've already heard in the sense of, I get that this would have been, it is quite a landmark moment in her interviewing career in terms of the longest one she's done, over 12 minutes. Just expected more, I suppose. And I guess I am over the baby talk and pregnancy because, I'm not the biggest advocate for those things. I'm not going to have kids myself. I have no inkling for it. I don't really care to listen to it. So while it's been cute in moments, I'm like, all right, I'm here for Madonna and the artistry that she is. But I also know that, this is a moment in her life as well. So I get that it's super important to her and it's going to be, what a lot of people are talking about. I get all that. Just for me personally, I'm ready to move past that moment. Evita, I still love. It's just the pregnancy stuff. I'm like, okay, we get it. All right, we got Madonna's speech to Elizabeth Taylor. Let's go.
Hi, Elizabeth. You look so beautiful.
She looks so different. The bangs.
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be as beautiful as Elizabeth Taylor. I wanted to ride horses with my long, lustrous hair trailing behind me. I wanted to swing on a swing set with a velvet dress on. I wanted violet eyes and translucent skin. I wanted a 16-inch waistline. I wanted Montgomery Clift, Paul Newman, James Dean, and Rock Hudson to put their arms around it. A girl can dream, can't she? There's a scene in this movie where Elizabeth and Montgomery are going to kiss, and they come together. I don't know if they're dancing. They put their arms around each other. Their lips are barely touching, and she looks up into his eyes with this look that just kills me every time I see it. And seriously, every time I see the movie, it has the same effect on me. This wondrous light that radiates from her, and it always takes my breath away. Elizabeth Taylor has stopped making film, but her light continues to shine in a much more wondrous fashion, without accolades and fanfare, without a movie studio behind her. Since 1985, she has worked tirelessly to raise money for AIDS, to raise awareness for AIDS, to enlighten Congress about the need for a needle exchange, to shake up the United Nations.
Damn, Elizabeth.
And educating third world countries. And so tonight we honor you, Elizabeth, for your courage, for your strength, for your convictions, for your compassion, but most of all, for your inspiration. By sharing your light, you have unconsciously given us permission to do the same. You are the most golden of stars. Happy birthday.
Gave me chills. I mean, if she inspired Madonna, I don't really know anything about Elizabeth Taylor, but yeah, if she inspired Madonna, she's clearly done something right.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here.
Huh. I thought we were going to hear her talk. Love, that's the Madonna we love. Just hearing her being inspiring and just, I guess, speaking from the heart. And like I said, she's obviously had such an impact on Madonna, Elizabeth Taylor. So knowing that, if she's done that for Madonna, Elizabeth has obviously done some incredible things. And I love, the AIDS stuff. Madonna obviously kept championing that. So it's awesome to see, where some of her inspiration comes from, let alone, it just being the right thing to do in general. All right, we are at the very last part of the Evita era. And then we move on. We say goodbye to Evita. What an epic proportionally sized era in terms of just how much has gone into this. I love that we're wrapping up with the Princess Diana speech. Again, these little nuggets that have just been spread throughout. We've had reference to it. It's at the MTV VMA Awards. Let's wrap it up. Let's go. Oh, I like this outfit.
Hi. Before I introduce the next band, I just would like to take a moment to talk about what happened to Princess Diana.
Oh, wow. Of course. I
Hold up.
didn't think about the timing.
I'm not going to stand up here and rant and rave about the paparazzi or the irresponsible behavior of the editors of all the tabloids.
Whoa.
Because even if they never change, there's still something that all of us can do. It's time for us to take responsibility for our own insatiable need to run after gossip and scandals and lies and rumors.
That's full
To
on.
live vicariously through other people's misery. And it's time that we realize that everything that we say and do has an effect on the world around us. That we are all connected, that we are all one. And until we change our negative behavior, tragedies like this will continue to occur.
Not what I expected at all for this to be about.
On a more positive note, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce Prodigy.
Wow. Like I said, not what I thought that was going to be about at all. I thought it was going to be, I don't know what, I guess a tribute, but then that would mean that she's not here. I just, totally didn't think about the timeline of where we're at. 1987 is when, all that happened. I love that she's speaking out about that. Like, even that is a protest and just, really standing up for things that haven't really changed. Obviously, we haven't had things to that extreme, I suppose, happen in terms of paparazzi stuff, but it's still so relevant in terms of, living life through all this gossip and negativity. So it is still very cool to hear her stance that. I mean, she definitely does not like the paparazzi, or I guess the bad side of Hollywood, which, she makes it very prominent at many times. But yeah, I like that she even just took that moment to, I guess, call it out for what it is. It was because of the paparazzi and things like that. So very, very nice. A very good way to cap it off, and I guess just shows that no matter what's happening, she's still going to speak her mind and call things out. And that is the Evita era. When did we start? I think it's like in February. Thanks for bearing with us. If Evita wasn't your favorite era, apologies. However, I think it's shown some incredible things. Obviously, I've commented them all as we've gone through the journey. If you want to check them out, go back to the channel. They are uncut on Patreon. If you want to see any of the Madonna or anything I do or support me, you can go there. Patreon links are down below. As always, it's all uncut. I'm very keen to see what's next. Obviously, it's Ray of Light. I'm very keen to go into this era again now, knowing what I know and just going back in with the songs, experiencing them for the second time. But obviously, like I said, I don't remember them all, only the ones that I really love, and I haven't gone in with that album at all. I think Erotica and Bedtime Stories are the albums I've listened to the most in terms of this journey so far. So very keen what's to come. As always, give me your comments down below. What do you think about the interviews? Everything that we just experienced? What an epic. So much to take in all at once, but I was like, we've just got to go back to back now. We've just got to get Evita done so we can move on. And that maybe is why some of the interview questions got a bit annoying, because you're just seeing them all in one experience. However, think of new questions, people. Let's be bloody thought and smart, better than what I'm doing right now. That's all I gotta say. Very keen to hear from you guys. Ryan, as always, thank you so much for the journey. I'm very keen to see where the hell we're gonna go. What an epic journey this has been so far. Other than that, Tony Via, and remember, being a